Et salut à toutes et à tous, c'est Akatsuki. On se retrouve pour un nouvel épisode sur Métaphore Re Fantazio. Il boit son petit café en même temps, le petit café de l'après-midi. C'est important. Lors du dernier épisode, nous étions arrivés à la deuxième grande ville du jeu. Et là où on doit ramener une tête. Vous vous en souvenez? Ah oui, ok. On peut pas aller voir l'arpenteur tout de suite. Mais il va arrêter lui à dire This is a joy. Y'a pas une autre ligne de dialogue? Alors. C'est vrai qu'on doit parcourir un certain... Il y a un succès dans le jeu, c'est d'être tout le temps sur son épée. Voilà. C'est de faire un certain nombre de kilomètres avec son épée. Donc on va le faire. Hop, c'est un sac à merde. J'allais par là? Non. Allons d'abord voir ce marchand. Ah oui, c'est un griffe. Je n'ai pas grand chose à vendre ici. Tout ce que j'ai, ce sont des herbes. Vas-y. Mais ouais. Merci. Cette boutique qui ne vend qu'un seul article, c'est un peu étrange, non? Semble refermer un grand secret. Mais oui. On va débloquer une quête grâce à ça. Alors, je sais pas dans quoi, je ne sais pas dans quoi je m'engage là. Mais on s'engage dans des ruelles. On risque de se faire égorger. C'est un coupe-gorge. Attention. Alors, je sais toujours pas ce que c'est les scarabées dorés. Hein. On est d'accord que j'en ai quelques-uns. Non. Dans les objets clés, j'en ai combien des scarabées dorés? Collier de seau. Non, c'est pas ça. Recette... Où sont mes scarabées dorés? Voilà, j'en ai 7 et on sait toujours pas à quoi ça sert. Mais nous le découvrirons bien assez tôt. Merci de ne pas spoiler. On le découvrira bien assez tôt à la fin du jeu quand on me dira mais tu te souviens des scarabées dorés? Et ben c'est maintenant que ça sert. Ah ok. Tu peux les échanger contre la meilleure épée du jeu. Alors si ça sert à ça, je suis trop fort car je ne me suis absolument pas spoilé le jeu. Ok, le vendeur d'armes il sera là. Je m'étais spoilé que la première heure de jeu en faisant ma découverte. Non, j'avais fait une découverte, je ne sais même plus. J'ai joué à la démo et je sais plus si je l'avais publié ou pas. Et c'est la seule chose que je m'étais spoilé. Je sais même plus si j'ai publié la démo quoi. Ok. En tout cas, on arrive, c'est les soldes. Encore un? Est-ce qu'on découvrirait à quoi ça sert ici, peut-être? Là, c'est pour s'en aller vers la quête. On va pas le faire.
What is it? Oh, what a pity.
Enfant luisant? Enfant luisant. Le bureau de recrutement. On va voir s'il y a des primes. Non, il y a une meilleure prime. Pas l'oublier. Bonjour! J'ai une prime? Pardon, mais le défi des braves. Il y aura des contrats avant un certain temps. Oui, bon, bah là, on te dit, fais la quête. Quoi. Hop. Ça, c'est quoi déjà? Ah, il y a le magla, on s'en fout. Le port.
Oh, this blooming heat. Well met, eh?
Ok. Youhou!
Oh, what a pity.
Eh bien, allons faire quelques petites empelettes. Hop. Commerçant. Et vous êtes jeune. Pourtant, c'est une sacrée épée que vous portez à la taille. Nous fournissons les meilleurs vêtements pour la marine. Plus honnêtement, nous vendons une panoplie d'accessoires inhabituels. Dans l'importation et le commerce maritime, les affaires de la région sont florissantes.
Well then.
Laissez-moi réfléchir. Vous avez vu que c'est pas joli. Comment savez-vous de ce bracelet à cheville de cavalier? Voyez-vous au dragon, cher client, cette représentation 9000 balles. Vas-y. On va peut-être augmenter ta façon. Oui, oui, j'achète. 9000 balles, je suis en train de me faire enfler. Comme j'en doutais pas, vous avez très bon goût. Chaque jour de la semaine, je vous attendrai avec un nouvel objet. Ah. On vient de se faire entuber de 9000 balles, les gars. Je dis ça, je dis rien. Prenez votre temps. Allez, vends. Qu'est-ce que j'ai? Déjà 36 000 balles. Ouais. Évaluer, est-ce que j'ai des objets? Non. Acheter, qu'est-ce qu'on peut t'acheter, mon ami? Des médicaments coûteux, je vais en prendre 2. On arrive à 10. Puissant breuvage, redonne 300 PV à un allié. Ah, c'est cher! Poudre de fée, j'en ai assez. Poussière de grande fée, ouais, réanimateur, j'en prends 3. Mon argent! Les remèdes, c'est bon. Huile d'Ariane, j'en ai quelques-uns. Torpeur en boîte. Ouais. Vas-y, je vais en prendre 5. Ah, mon argent! Important d'avoir des objets de soins quand même, on l'a vu sur certains combats. Mais c'est marrant qu'on trouve pas de pilule de magla. C'est vachement dur à trouver. Alors, qu'est-ce que t'as comme viande? J'en ai pas, je vais... Hop là, comme ça, si jamais on doit faire des plats... mais de l'eau, on s'en fout. Les épées! Les épées!
This is on sale right now.
Comment un magasin d'armes peut-il être utile? Je propose des remises. On est d'accord que... Acheter! Épée de marin, 16 000 balles! C'est cher. 50... Ça, 52 000 balles. Y a une masse rouge là. 72 000 balles! Installe les PM en tuant un ennemi en bataille en équipe. Ok. Allez, plus 84 d'attaque, hein, ça... Ah, j'ai bien envie de lui acheter ça. Vas-y.
Indeed.
Mal au cul. Plus 15... Yeah. Ah, ça fait mal au cul. Il y a encore plein d'armes à acheter, hein. Mais je farme pas, c'est ça mon gros problème. Je farme pas assez.
We've a sale going on.
Alors, qu'est-ce que t'as en armure? Armure de marin, 14 000 balles. 32 000 balles. Oh. Récupère un faible taux à chaque tour pendant le combat. Casque de marin. Ok. Casque de boxeur. Ah, donc ça veut dire que si je mets un casque et l'armure, je récupère encore plus de PV. Non, mais on va économiser. Ah, on va économiser. Il y a 20% de réduc là. Que c'est cher, que c'est cher. Hop là, on va se barrer. Pourquoi tu t'en vas? Parce qu'en fait de l'autre côté... Bon bref, t'as pas vu. Parce que je croyais que c'était la suite, mais non. Maintenant on sait que il faut prendre le bateau ou je sais pas quoi. Hop là.
My money's on Santa Fe exporter.
Hey, mister.
Just can't say. Stop! Lower.
Encore un scarabée doré, mais il y en a bien beaucoup ici. On sait pas à quoi ça sert encore, hein. Je le redis. Bonjour. C'est quelque part. Bazar des marchands. Quartier des auberges. Quai de la Reine.
Good choice.
Allez. Oh, c'est mignon. On est sur un bateau.
Say,
Hülkenberg. Ah, il voit aussi. Ah oui. Alors, comme ça, on peut voir le visage du roi d'ici. Il disait bien qu'il se repositionnait lentement. Mais je pensais vraiment pas qu'il viendrait à Louise. Donc c'est lié au tournoi. Je pense qu'il garde un œil attentif sur les principaux aspirants et qu'il est évident que nous sommes observés. Mais c'est peut-être pas plus mal. Cette chose dans le ciel devrait inciter tout le monde à réfléchir à l'avenir du royaume. Enfin, nous allons à l'auberge. Oui, pas une auberge, t'inquiète.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Hello.
Gone clammy all over in this humidity I have.
oh my.
Oh.
D'abord, je regarde s'il n'y a pas des trésors, des trucs à ramasser. Quel sac à merde, hein. Toujours à chercher l'argent.
This is the best.
Alors... Mais bon, vu que tout est cher dans les jeux...
What do I do?
Ok, il y a Moore qui est là. Ok...
Oh, this blooming.
Ok. Allez hop. Loveless. Eh, vous êtes l'Elda de Martyra, pas vrai? Apparemment, on a tous les deux fait nos preuves pour le défi. Bon, si à l'auberge dans cette auberge, si c'est le cas, dommage, je viens de me faire jeter par la tenancière. C'est déjà plein, et dire qu'elle s'appelle l'auberge de la bienvenue, quelle blague, hein? Ça a posé problème.
Right.
Il y a qu'il y a deux autres choix. Il y a deux autres auberges dans le coin, mais honnêtement, aucune ne fait de l'œil. De l'autre côté de la fontaine, c'est le pavillon du corail doré, là où les gros bonnets comme Forden s'établissent. Elles ne laisseront jamais entrer un Paripus ou un Elda. L'auberge au-delà du pavillon de corail doré est extrêmement onéreuse. En plus, on dit que c'est là que Louise séjourne, donc elle va être chère et bruyante. Je suis sûr qu'ils vont réserver l'auberge tout entière en effet.
Yes, but
Oui, c'est ses hommes y sont. Il ferait mieux d'éviter d'y dormir alors. Bref, ne vous préoccupez pas d'une auberge lointaine et onéreuse, il reste le repère de l'araignée près de la taverne. Un negri flouche se tient devant avec un sourire malsain. Ça ne me dit rien qui y vaille, donc je passe mon tour. Ah, même si je trouve pas d'auberge, j'ai la taverne. À partir d'aujourd'hui, je ferai mon château. T'as un remplacement d'une auberge? Je ne crois pas que j'en serais capable. En tout cas, j'aimerais éviter ce repère de l'araignée si c'est possible. Vous avez vu Martyra, non? Un autre aspirant au tournoi. Vous avez l'intention de séjourner dans cette auberge? Malheureusement, il n'y a plus un lit disponible. C'est plein à cause de la cérémonie. Je pensais pouvoir séjourner dans une véritable auberge, mais là...
I see.
Bon, si on ne peut pas rester là, il va falloir chercher ailleurs. Une seconde, votre arpenteur, celui que vous aviez stationné au milieu de Martyra. Allez, dites-moi quelle technologie utilise. Permettez-moi, mettez-moi dans la confidence. Un secret. Que le radin, j'allais le dire à papa. Au fait, je participe aussi. J'ai un vrai arpenteur à moi et tout et tout. Cela signifie que si vous allez me le dire, je peux vous y obliger par la force. Ouais, vas-y, viens, on essaye. Gosse.
What is it you require?
Oh mais quelle sale gueule. Vous là, seriez-vous l'un de mes soutiens par hasard? Non. Inutile d'être timide, se sentir attiré par les belles choses est tout à fait naturel après tout. La beauté avant tout, c'est mon credo. Et plus que tout, un roi devrait être magnifique, n'est-ce pas? Alors non. Alors non, il n'est pas obligé d'être beau, hein, un roi. Quelle que soit l'auberge dans laquelle je loge, celle-ci doit mériter que je la gratifie de ma beauté. Oui, comme ce pavillon du corail doré. Enfin, à vous de voir. Je doute que vous jouissiez de la richesse nécessaire à la location d'une chambre dans un tel établissement. Connard! Quel abruti! Je n'avais aucune envie de me retrouver dans une auberge remplie de gens comme lui de toute façon. Il a dit toutes les auberges convenables sans être complètes. Il ne reste donc plus qu'un seul choix. Vraiment, mais vraiment pas envie. Mais est-ce qu'on n'irait pas voir le repère de l'araignée?
Yeah?
Ouais.
What do I do?
Stop that at once!
On cherche un toit, n'est-ce pas? J'ai une chambre de libre. Je sers tout le monde et je fais de bons prix. Les criminels, les tribus Oni, je les refuse pas. Ah ouais, d'accord.
Enjoy your stay.
Commencez par jeter un œil à la chambre, nous parlerons de l'argent plus tard.
Kind of freaky.
Moi aussi, ça me paraît louche. Nous pourrions pas de même regarder la chambre. On va tellement se faire tabasser.
Well,
Ah ouais.
should have figured they'd be out of the upper rooms with all the travelers in town.
Ah ouais, là la chambre quoi. On peut pas aller dormir dans l'arpenteur.
It's a far cry from the runner, at least. I am full glad to stretch my legs again.
Did you see that giant bug just now? It was like the size of my head. It's gotta be poisonous.
Oh, pull yourself together. It's just a insect.
Well, listen to you. You can't have lived in a giant sandworm den and been afraid of bugs, surely.
Hence the hut.
That's why you lived in that hut.
More importantly, we must discuss tomorrow's proceedings.
On va vraiment rester dormir là.
We meet up with Joanna, then get to the exhibition after that.
Mais sinon on peut se téléporter, on peut aller chez Fabienne, non?
Joanna will admit to the crime. The guilt of a sanctoress, especially of her status, will guilt Forden by association. That should make an impression on Louise.
Yet for all this, we need Joanna herself. Do you truly think she will join us?
Confiance en elle.
We have to trust her.
She chose to offer her own head instead of the monster's. If you ask me, she'd not have done that if she didn't believe it truly was her child. At least in part. I believe she expressed genuine parental love. I want to believe that, at least.
And what if she ends up not showing up? I mean, you're the one who got the worst of all of this in the first place.
Pas faux.
If it comes to that, you've still got my head for the days. After all, the bounty still says I'm a kidnapper.
Balderdash will not sacrifice an innocent life for our victory. But your offer speaks highly of your spirit.
Right, we've done what we can do. All that's left is to keep our chins up and face the competition head on.
Too early yet to retire for the night. We could drop by one of the local pubs. Listen for what perks our ears. And while we're at it, might as well sit down to a proper supper, eh?
Oh, haha, very funny. But I guess good info is important.
Sinon je peux pas passer du temps avec toi pour que t'es l'assassin.
What are we without beauty? What do we care for promises and speeches from repulsive mouths? Beauty is everything, and it is time our country reflected that.
Sounds like the candidates have started their speeches. Let's listen in for a bit.
J'ai dû monter mon éloquence.
All skills and talents equal, would you see the crown atop an ugly head or a handsome one? Beauty is power. Lack one, you should lack the other. When I take the throne, all the hideous will be stripped of their titles. Together, we shall build a nation ruled only by radiant, everlasting paragons of beauty.
Est-ce qu'on peut dégoupiller une grenade et lui injecter dans le fondement jusqu'à ce qu'elle explose, s'il vous plaît, merci?
I love you, Lobelo! I love you forever!
Well, he has a point about what people tend to follow.
What? This really doesn't bother you? It isn't right.
You'd rather wait for a king who was always right, then?
Enough about appearance. A beautiful face cannot win wars.
On lui a pas cassé la gueule à lui encore?
Without military power, the crown's voice means nothing. When I am king, I will establish a unified nation with the Rousant tribe at its head. Our tribes, our status, they mean something. You could stray from a monolith, but it will still remain. There can be no true peace without using the power we command. Hear, hear! For Rousant pride!
What pride is there in seizing power by force? Disgraceful.
When I'm queen, all the land's corrupt upper classes will be wanted men. We'll have our guillotines sharpened and our wallets open. Those who thought to tilt the world with their heavy coffers will be a head lighter. We'll split their fortunes and toast to our health.
Bonjour, Madame la Terreur.
Preach it, Katharina! You're just what this land needs!
Elle,
Will the first target be the one on the throne, then?
Louis Croivet-Bâton, il aurait fait une petite schlouk aussi, hein.
Everyone's just shouting all their ideals out.
These candidates are all pathetic. Nobody here even compares to Lord Louis.
Oui.
Luis isn't even in the running, lad. Poor Blight is afraid of losing to Sanctifex Forden.
You've got it backwards, geezer. He's just not wasting his time on these windbags.
I confess, I know not how to feel. 'Tis unprecedented. Never before have our citizens come together in the street in broad daylight and shared their true feelings on king and kingdom.
Indeed. Is this really the kind of change His Majesty wanted? Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Let's go in. If we hang around too long here, we're bound to get dragged into a nasty argument.
C'est pas faux. Bon, une petite entaille circulaire et c'est bon. Plus personne. Allez, tous au tripot.
When I'm king, pleasures will rule the city. A bar on every block and a flagon in every hand. All you can drink, all year round.
Ah, le hippie alcoolique.
Next round's on Lovelace.
Let fools be content with their fool dreams. Grant me the crown, and I will make our kingdom powerful beyond imagining.
On s'en fout de ça.
Most powerful? Doesn't really mean anything, does it? Aren't you another one of Louis's flunkies, hound? Stop barking and get back to your master.
Always about that goddamn Louis. I've been in the guard just as long as he has, you swine.
J'avais pas vu que c'était des fils barbelés son collier. C'est un peu dangereux quand même.
Quite a lively crowd. Looks like a great many of them came all the way here to watch the competition.
That lad there, he's an elder, isn't he?
Ouais.
Well, strike me down, you're right. Never seen one of you blokes before. Might be out of luck in the race, though. You'll not stand a chance.
Va te faire foutre.
Pay him no mind. A drunk's words weigh nothing.
C'est vrai qu'il faut souvent ignorer les gens.
There are fish swimming in front of the store.
Ah, I've heard of this. 'Tis on the customer to fish up a catch, and the chefs will prepare it for eating.
Oh.
I admit, I'm curious. Shall I sing a shanty for you as you take up rod and reel, Captain?
Quoi, il y a un mini-jeu de pêche? Ce serait donc le meilleur jeu de l'année? Non, c'est pas un mini-jeu de pêche! Non! J'ai attrapé une créature bizarre. Ouais, tu m'étonnes.
Is that really edible? It doesn't look quite, natural.
By all means, let us try it.
Hilkenberg, l'ogre.
Did she even look at it?
Why, 'tis It is delicious!
Wilkenberg.
Aroma of the sea simply floods the mouth. Ah, and what splendid crunch it has.
Ça me donne envie de manger des maquereaux grillés. Imagine les petits maquereaux grillés là au barbecue avec un peu de thym et un petit peu de citron là, un filet de citron dessus. Avec de l'huile d'olive évidemment.
I mean, they wouldn't let us fish up anything outright inedible. I hope.
C'est un mets délicat.
It's a delicacy.
You just made that up, didn't you?
Au moins mourrons ensemble.
It's rather slimy for my liking.
Ah, pauvre petit.
I said nothing since Hulkenberg seemed to enjoy it so much, but if you're going to eat an unknown fish, might you not at least sear it first?
Il bouge encore en tout cas.
It's fine enough without, I say.
You need way higher standards, lady.
Mais non. C'est Wilkenberg, c'est tout.
Excuse me, friends. Don't mean to interrupt your meal. I'm Batlin, a church crier for the tournament. Maybe you remember me.
Oui, oui, on se souvient de toi. Ouais.
Sounds like you made a hell of a splash in Martyra, huh? Felling a vicious beast's one thing, but not many candidates took it figuratively.
Je devais agir. Comment l'avez-vous appris?
How did you hear about all this?
It's a crier's business to hear things.
C'est pas faux.
So, do you have a head ready?
Well, let's see. Got a head right here, I suppose.
Lips sealed, huh? Well, I'm certainly looking forward to the exhibition then. Especially considering the diversity of your little party.
Eh ouais, non mais c'est parce que nous on est tolérants.
I've always preferred to chase an interesting lead over a sure bet. Can't help it, I'm afraid. So, I'll have a keen eye out for you, alright?
That cry is an odd one. Not really what you'd expect from a Sanctus promoter. Who is he?
Bonne question. Certainement un esclave de Louis.
Rumor has it that young candidate hasn't brought a head. Wonder what he's playing at.
Whatever it is, he's about to get a sharp lesson in the ways of the world, poor lad.
I think he's worth keeping an eye on. Keep it under your hats, chums, but his power may rival Count Luis. I think he's just the ingredient we need to spice this race up a bit.
Right. Just got back from the pub, did you?
You wound me. Nobody trusts a radical, huh? I expect you'll see for yourself.
Ok. Johanna et Barden devraient atteindre la ville dans la matinée. J'imagine qu'ils vont passer voir notre arpenteur blindé. Noras devrait être là pour les accueillir. Donc quand le jour se lèvera, nous devrons retourner à l'arpenteur. Ok. Est-ce qu'on peut faire quelque chose? Non, non. Je pense que là on ne peut rien faire. Attends. Ah oui non, on est obligé de dormir. Ah, c'est con là, il y a un magasin que j'ai pas vu là. De magie.
Look at that.
Ma journée est terminée, est-ce que je peux prendre congé? Oui. Pas besoin de...
Good night.
Eh ben...
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Allez, on y va. Oh, il est bourré.
The man's sloshed. Again.
What happened to waiting for our guests? You utter buffoon! Is this why you volunteered to stay behind?
Seems like Joanna and Barden aren't here yet.
Ouais, ou alors ils ont été kidnappés.
I feared this might happen. And we've no other head to offer the judges. 'Tis a precarious position.
Restons calmes.
Let's all stay calm, all right?
Ah! I'm going to splash some water on my face. Ah!
What?
Hein? Ah. Pardon.
My sincerest apologies. I wasn't expecting anyone to come in. You see...
Est-ce qu'il avait le pantalon en bas des chevilles?
How did you come to be here? Explain yourself!
Bah, on lui a demandé de venir, espèce... Allez.
Is something the matter, Barden?
They were here the whole time?
I'm so terribly sorry. We heard the Gauntlet Runner had a washroom, so we thought we'd freshen up a bit. I bathed first and was resting in the back room, contemplating my final day as a sanctoress.
Sir Nuris over there very decently let us in to wash up.
Okay.
I couldn't stand it, old thing. Her heart would bring any right-thinking man to tears. Could have run like a ballet thief in the night, but here she is, washing away her sins. It was more than a chap could bear, I say. Needed a drop of the grape and grain just to get myself through it.
The bottle's barely any emptier. Was a drop really all it took to get you drunk?
Ah là là, ça doit certainement être un alcool très fort.
Oh, please do not blame the poor man. Talking to him has eased my heart for the trials to come. I cannot let myself betray you and regress to my vile delusions. I only sought to atone with myself before my sins are duly punished.
I understand. Thank you for coming. Then, as we agreed, please confess before the crowd when the time comes. To be honest, I'm hesitant to turn you in now you've genuinely decided to repent. I mean, we're hardly icons of virtue ourselves.
C'est pas faux.
In fairness, you're a woman of status, and it'll be a big crowd. We're not looking to instigate a public stoning here. You can explain yourself freely, in your own words.
Thank you. Truly, I've felt so much more at peace since last we spoke. The fog has only cleared further.
A fog, huh?
Thank you for everything. I do hope you win the throne.
Yes. I intend to.
Whoever the crown goes to, we're at least going to make sure it isn't used for evil.
At last, it seems our preparations are set. We need only trust that our plans will bear fruit.
Mais oui, ça va fonctionner. C'est un monstre. Qu'est-ce que c'est un monstre? À dire vrai.
Thank you all for waiting. The very first round of the tournament for the throne, the exhibition of the brave, is about to begin. Our monarchs-to-be will now present to the people the heads they seized to demonstrate their power as worthy of the throne.
Alors, le mec qui est à côté de Katharina, avec les yeux bleus là, il a un flot avec ses moumous trop violettes là. Et le mustari aussi.
When the second round is announced, the faces on the King's Rock, that is to say, the candidates with the top 20 approval ratings, will pass the first round.
Ok.
20? 'Tis a great many eliminations in but one round.
I was hoping we'd at least make it through the first, but it might not be that simple.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes to the lineup of all the gorgeous faces at the judges' table, starting with his and her highnesses of Oceania and Montario.
Celui tout à droite avec son casque, moi j'adore.
Oh, it's her ladyship. Lord Montario's here too, eh? And the armor on that fellow over there? A general, is he?
En tout cas, c'est pas un soldat de base.
And of course, we have the one, the only, the people's favorite, our guest from the Sanctus Church, better known as the Miracle Saint, healer of all ills, presenting the lovely Lady Rella Cygnus.
Là, un flot. J'adore le design de ce perso.
Saint? Who's this? Someone fill me in. I've been literally living in a hole.
A brilliant healer. We've met, though a long time ago. Even as a student, she was already considered the kingdom's best in her field.
Looks like the crowd's on your side, milady. Can you give us a few words about what's on your mind as you take on the judge's mantle?
Well, I'm afraid you've rather got me on the spot. Hello, all. This city sure has, great seafood.
Ah, on va manger de la moulière.
And, well, sea creatures. Fascinating, aren't they? There's so much we still don't know about them. Oh, I did hear about a legend of some monster in the eastern seas of Oceania. Imagine, the mind races. I'm hoping I can investigate those sightings while I'm here.
That's just great, Lady Rella. I'll just stop you there, clock's ticking and all that. But we're thrilled you're enjoying your stay.
Sometimes I can hardly believe you're my sister. Still not much of a public speaker, are you?
So she's a saint?
Well, she seems like a nice enough lady.
We'd better stop worrying about her and focus on ourselves. I don't see Luis anywhere, but I bet he's got eyes in the crowd.
Bien sûr qu'il a des espions. Évidemment. Le méchant de l'histoire. On sait que c'est le méchant de l'histoire.
Now, the time has come. Let the exhibition of the brave begin! First up is a respected gentleman of the church. Guido, the head of the monk soldiers of the Crown Theocracy.
Un poisson. Il a été à la pêche. On peut bien manger là-dessus. Un gros poisson.
I've no taste for needless killing. Therefore, I chose a mark with meat, abundant and edible. After the judging, it will be served in a banquet for the poor.
Sauf que ça fait 3 jours que tu l'as pêché et donc il commence à être un peu rassis quoi.
A stand-up fellow, my good people! Strength and compassion in one package! He's got the crowd on his side right from the start! Now, is there anyone who can top this?
I can.
Ah.
And we have a challenger! Second in line is the church's direct opposition, the spearhead of Count Luis's supporters, Glentharil, the Black Hound!
One look at the head and I know what you're thinking. Bit small, isn't it? Well, I can bloody well tell you I'm not like this smarmy git who fished up his dinner. I'll tell you what this is. Behold, the head of a hideous human!
Oui, quand même.
Where's your proof?
Yes, the young sod's right. How do we know that's really a human?
What drivel? Look at the thing! You think a normal beast could have a face like this?
Un petit peu mochophobe ça.
Probably just made the damn thing yourself.
Oh, useless as ever. Did it never occur to him that the average citizen has never seen a human?
Now, everyone, let's have a little composure, please. Candidate Glentharil, we're very much obliged. You may step down.
Il vient de se faire embarrer.
Now, on to the next!
Ah oui. Un gros calamar.
The size of that thing. Is that the monster of the Eastern Sea?
Someone took the beastie down. Who did the deed?
I'd heard tell of a monster tormenting the people of this beautiful port city. I could do no less than grant them respite from their suffering. Such is the duty of those with power.
Who expected anything less? His Eminence Borden is simply in another class. Suddenly the critics have all gone quiet. All I hear is gratitude.
Horden's trophy is more impressive than I expected. How are we going to make a stronger impression than that?
Allez.
It'll be fine.
If he'd gone after us, the reaction would mean we'd have been written off no matter what we presented. Let's count ourselves lucky and trust in our strategy.
Eh oui.
Now, no dirty looks, you lot. Next is the Pagan Assassin's Prize. Let's see what head we've got now.
Heureusement qu'ils ne battent pas tous les uns derrière les autres.
Thank you, Candidate Julian, for that helpful, exhaustive, and I think exhausting explanation. Ooh. Now, we've had quite a succession up here, but our last is coming up now. Now, if the last candidate, the Elden Boy, would please join us on the stage.
Oui, j'arrive.
Where's their head?
Your pardon, madam, but would you happen to be the Lady of Martyra? Joanna the Sanctoress?
Indeed. The head they've brought is mine.
The impudence. You dare offer an honored lady of the church before these judges? This is not to be borne.
I've got something to say to you too.
That you chief there. Isn't that Heismay? The same damn criminal you were supposed to be chasing?
That's the infamous Heismay. The huge chief of all things.
Mais c'est par-dessus le marché. En plus! Mais en plus, c'est un arabe! Mais quelle bande de salauds, bande de racistes!
This, after we saved your hide on the road.
Silence! He may be a former knight, but now he's a heinous criminal who stooped to kidnapping. Anyone who claims themselves his ally should be disqualified on the spot.
Please, wait. I have something I must confess to you all.
Elle a pas fort tourné la tête. Je sais pas, moi j'ai pas cet angle-là. Hein.
You speak of the kidnappings that terrorized my home, Martyra. I am here to confess that the true culprit behind those atrocities was me. I was the caretaker of a hideous human in the basement of my castle. And to feed it, I abducted the innocent people of my own city.
What? Absurd! Speak sense, woman!
Master Heismay is innocent in all this. He was framed for crimes performed by my hand and in my name.
And I, Bardon, Captain of Martyra's Guard Corps, stand to vouch for all that she said.
Just so. It was this young candidate who killed that human, cleared me of the false charges, and dispelled the shadow over Martyra.
Thus, here I stand. My head is his to offer.
That's... well, that's quite a turn of events! We have our head, ladies and gentlemen, and it's unlike any we've seen yet!
How is this believable? She's an imposter. She's got to be.
Of course. That, or they're putting words in the poor woman's mouth. A sanctoress would never.
Mais oui.
What will His Eminence Falden do?
The Honorable Master Godot should know whether I and my words can be trusted.
'Tis true to the last word, isn't it?
Yes, Your Eminence. Without question.
Young candidate, you have done well to bring about her repentance. Now, justice must be rendered.
What? Right here and now? Your Eminence, a moment!
Thank you for your concern. But I have no objections. For a sinner like me, To confess the truth to the people has already been more than I deserve.
Ah oui, comme ça devant tout le monde.
O new king, it is my hope that you will rid the world of its twisted prejudices and common cruelties. Please, lead this country armed with the truth.
Je vous en fais le serment.
I will. I promise.
Et devant tout le monde comme ça. D'accord. Devant les enfants, tout ça, tout ça. Ah, c'est bien les exécutions publiques, hein.
Well, folks, sometimes that's just how the curtain falls. If Sanctifex Forden turned in the biggest head, then our dark horse here has certainly turned in the heaviest. What an upset, ladies and gents!
Those crazy kids have done it again.
What a show!
Lui, il me fait... C'est lui le... Ah oui, on est 49e. Beaucoup de gens ont remarqué, j'espère que ça permettrait de sauver le prince. Bah oui. Ah bon, on a dû couper une tête, quoi. Devant les enfants.
Barden just departed, wishing everyone well. I suppose he aims to reach Martira before Joanna's confession does.
And Forden himself. I hardly expected the man to make himself so visible.
Likely his attempt at redirection. Keeps the blame from falling on him and the church. Can't say it didn't work, I suppose.
Il avait pas trop le choix non plus, quoi.
I'm certainly not blameless in this either. It was my suggestion to make an impression by foregoing the pursuit of a monster's head in favor of a person's.
I guess, but...
Nevertheless, the Lady Joanna entrusted her final wishes to us, and we mustn't betray them. It's all we can do, really.
Not bad, pups.
Qui es-tu, toi? Ah.
We were passing on the course of a human hunt. You gave a most distinctive showing.
Louis.
Suppose you're worth introducing ourselves to. I'm Fidelio, that's Basilio. Luis's right-hand man, see?
And now you walk with a Ujif at your side. Each ally of a different tribe. Fascinating.
Bon, toi je vais te casser la gueule.
Better to have dependable friends than familiar ones. Something we've got in common.
Not only did you expose a failing of the Sanctus Church, but you dared to bring her alive so Forden himself could do the grisly part before all his flock.
That was not our intent.
Oh, same idea, yeah? A real person's head gets more eyes on you than some decapitated beast. And now, you're the names on everyone's lips, aren't you?
Eh ouais.
That's not the point.
Well, it hardly matters. It's quite a feat for a no-name candidate to so deftly rub Forden's face in the dirt. A wake-up call, I'm sure, for those who only know his honeyed words.
Oh, Lord Luis, we really should be going.
Relax. They're in the middle of a conversation.
I like a show of strength as much as the next girl, but I do so hate violent spectacles. A view from the sky sounds so much more enchanting, don't you think?
Toi, tu couches avec l'ennemi. Elle vend son corps, j'en suis sûr.
So this is what's become of Luis. There was something eerie to him even as a lad, but I'd never expected him to reach such heights.
Do you suppose we have his attention?
Je pense, ouais.
Last time he told us we had to demonstrate our power first. I'd like to think that if he went out of his way to talk to us, that's something we earned.
Oh, loves, I've got a message from Count Luis. He says he'll be sending a messenger along soon, so stay in the city, would you? And I have to say, I might not want to let you out of my sight either.
Oh là 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 là. Le triangle amoureux qui est en train de se mettre en place. Je sais pas ce que c'est son arme qu'elle a dans le dos. Master ton cul.
Master Luis was just here. What happened?
Bah il t'a abandonné parce que t'es qu'un nul.
Well, he just left. You weren't told?
We'd better be getting back as well.
Ah le mec, on le laisse comme ça.
What's so special about those fools?
A feast.
Luis is having a go for Popeye, eh? Are you officially all flunkies in arms now, then?
Rien n'est encore fait. C'est un piège.
Might be a trap.
C'est un piège.
Don't get cold feet now. We knew going in that any plan to win his favor would be dangerous.
We have finally taken the first step in saving His Highness the Prince. If we can get the formula, then we yet have a chance of lifting the curse.
How fares His Highness, anyway? He still fights?
I took a look in the Farsight mirror a while ago. He's still asleep. But nothing's changed about his condition.
C'est déjà bien. Un état qui reste inchangé, ça veut dire qu'il ne décroît pas. Donc c'est déjà pas mal.
And do we know where this formula is?
No, but he's bound to keep it somewhere secret if it's evidence linking him to the assassination. Still, a formula would be useless unless it's within arm's reach for emergencies.
C'est pas faux.
If it's something he'd keep close, then...
Dans son slip. Il se l'est peut-être tatoué.
Maybe he's engraved it directly on his body.
Yeah, somehow I doubt he'd literally carve incriminating evidence onto his skin. It'd be backwards in a mirror besides. It's more likely to be in his runner.
Bah, pas si tu le tatoues à l'envers.
Do you really suppose it would be in the runner he uses even today? The incident was near a decade ago.
It's as good a chance as any. Getting inside would be a pain for anyone else, including us.
He said he would send a messenger. Perhaps it would be wise to wait until we've heard his missive.
Good point. Let's just wait for word then.
C'est pas faux.
Joanna! A backwater sanctuarist denies me my moment of triumph! She defiles the very church itself.
Ouais.
Oh, and naturally it was an elder of all people who stood her before me. Will that benighted tribe never stop dogging my heels?
An idea occurs, Your Eminence. For the tournament's next challenge, let us centre the competition on a show of piety. Make them prove their Sanctus faith. After all, Sanctism is the state religion. It would be the barest of leaps to suggest that loyalty to the Church is loyalty to the state.
Tout à fait faux.
I assume you have a plan?
Altaberry's our next destination. The very seat of the faith outside the capital. I thought we might propose another hunt. This time for relics.
Ah, the so-called divine relics. Those false idols the pagans consider relics of their gods.
What need does the world have for gods beyond ours?
Donc en gros, tu vas les brûler.
Soon, they will talk of nothing but how to win the Sanctus Church's favor. Your Eminence's influence would be sure to reach even greater heights.
And in the pagan lands, the greedier candidates will plunder and pillage for idols as they see fit. Fine footholds for our missionaries, all without getting our hands dirty.
Quelle bande de sac à merde.
The collection of divine relics should be a spectacle held on Saint's Day. Our divine right will be undeniable. Once I take the throne, I will re-establish that these relics originally belonged to the Sanctus Church, and that they were ransacked from us in the course of history.
Your Eminence, on that day, I should be grateful to be honored with a proper title.
Say no more. A concession only fair for the right hand of the Sanctifex.
Ever at your service. You do not bow your head.
Oh, humblest apologies.
What troubles you, my child?
Well, my concern would be about the risks involved. Some theories suggest even the royal scepter was originally one of these relics. In the unlikely event that a divine relic were to be found to nullify the king's magic...
If such a relic existed, it would have been found long ago. You burden yourself with such fears. All you need to do is be a good saint. Smile, wave, and bless.
En gros, il est en train de dire sois une femme, sois une bonne femme, sois belle et tais-toi, quoi.
Rella, you are to return to the royal capital and gather the people under my banner.
Understood.
Ok.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Hello, a word. Some odd blighter left a letter for you last night. Said he was Louis's man. Night Prowler, today, come. Bit curt if I'm honest, hardly diplomatic. Seems like this Night Prowler place is some sort of pub or club. But do you know where it is?
On the city's outskirts. Seemed fairly dingy to my eyes. I can't imagine Louis at a haunt like that.
You think it's a trap? Maybe he's caught on to us?
If he wanted to trap us, I doubt he would make it so obvious. Though that doesn't guarantee our safety there, of course.
We have little other option but to show up.
I'll hang about in the runner. Keep myself busy with tinkering. Let me know if you talk yourself onto Louis's craft, eh?
T'inquiète.
Right then. Let's be off to this Night Prowler.
Ouais, il a dit ce soir. Donc là, on a la journée. Octambule. On va se trouver à la périphérie de la ville. Les battleurs savent sûrement comment s'y rendre. Ok, mais nous on va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Je vous souhaite à toutes et tous une excellente continuation. On se retrouve très bientôt pour de nouvelles aventures. Allez, bye bye!